Ukraine's coordinated strikes inside Russian territory signal a deliberate escalation in how Kyiv is prosecuting the war. Rather than focusing solely on frontline engagements, Ukrainian forces are increasingly targeting strategic depth, oil terminals, pipelines, ammunition depots, aircraft, and naval assets that sustain Russia's ability to wage prolonged warfare. By hitting energy and logistics infrastructure simultaneously, Ukraine aims to disrupt not just military operations, but the economic systems that fund them. The reported damage to a drone launch site and a riverboat brigade base in occupied Crimea highlights another important shift. Ukraine is actively degrading Russia's ability to conduct long-range drone and missile operations used against Ukrainian cities and power infrastructure. These attacks force Moscow to disperse assets, reinforce air defenses, and divert resources away from offensive operations. Russia's claim that it intercepted dozens of Ukrainian drones follows a familiar pattern, acknowledging attacks while minimizing their impact. Ukraine's counterclaims underscore increasingly contested airspace, while Russia's continued strikes on Ukrainian energy facilities point to a strategy of civilian pressure as winter approaches. With peace efforts stalled, these reciprocal strikes suggest neither side currently sees diplomacy as delivering acceptable terms, reinforcing a trajectory toward continued escalation. The killing of Lieutenant General Fanil Sarvarov inside Moscow represents a major psychological shock for Russia's military establishment. Senior officers are not only commanders, but central nodes of planning and institutional knowledge. An assassination in the capital raises immediate questions about internal security failures and counterintelligence gaps. Russian authorities' claims of foreign sabotage highlight the seriousness of the incident. While Ukraine has not claimed responsibility, analysts note similarities to previous targeted attacks on figures tied to Russia's war effort. Such strikes force Moscow to divert resources toward internal security rather than frontline operations. The broader impact lies in morale and deterrence. Senior officers may limit exposure, alter routines, or delay decisions, all of which can slow command effectiveness. Strategically, the attack signals that the conflict now reaches beyond battlefields and into Russia's core command structure. The creation of the International Claims Commission marks a shift from immediate wartime response to long-term accountability planning. Even as fighting continues, European governments are shaping the legal framework that could define the post-war order. By collecting claims now, the Commission preserves evidence and strengthens future legal cases. With over 86,000 claims registered, the scale of destruction is being formally documented, a powerful political tool even without immediate compensation. Discussions around frozen Russian assets are particularly significant, signaling a willingness to explore unprecedented legal mechanisms to fund reconstruction. Strategically, the Commission extends pressure on Russia beyond the battlefield. It reinforces the message that the war's financial and legal consequences will persist long after the fighting ends, strengthening Ukraine's negotiating position and international backing. Ukraine's claim of a successful underwater drone strike against a Russian Kilo-class submarine could mark a turning point in naval warfare. Submarines are designed to be among the most survivable military assets, and the ability of an autonomous drone to approach and detonate near one challenges long-standing assumptions about naval security. The Novorossiysk naval base is heavily defended, making the alleged strike especially significant. Even limited damage below the waterline can force prolonged repairs, temporarily removing a high-value asset from service, a serious concern for Russia's Black Sea Fleet. Russia's denial was expected, but analysts stress that underwater damage is difficult to assess quickly. More importantly, the precedent matters. If confirmed, it shows unmanned systems can threaten even the most protected naval platforms, reinforcing Ukraine's strategy of innovation and asymmetric warfare.